The nurse's brief call a few days earlier informed me that my hormones were dropping, and this baby also wouldn't make it. The only instruction I received on this loss was a single sentence. Let us know if you bleed through more than one pad in an hour. We found 2 books that day at the mall. One tried to tell me how not to miscarry, which infuriated me since the title insinuated I could have prevented it had I tried. And another book was called Taking Charge of Your Fertility, which felt just about as maddening, because trust me, I had already tried to take control. It didn't work. I needed something else in a book. I needed real talk, a sort of no-holds-barred address on what pregnancy loss is really like on your body, heart, mind, and soul. I needed to know what to expect physically, what I would feel, what choices I would need to make, and how to care for my body after loss. I needed to feel heard, not placated. I didn't want someone to give me easy answers, but I needed to know that feeling alone in a sea of people was normal, and that my arms would feel the ache of loss, and that triggers were brutal, but I'd survive them. I needed a safe place to question my faith. Why me, or why not me, and how in the world I could move forward. I needed a community, the stories of those who had gone before me and survived their loss, to know that I could too. I needed a guide on this thing called grief, because I suddenly felt like a stranger in my own life. I needed a friend, someone who could speak to the deepest parts of my pain and hold space for me there. I needed to know what life is like when you go from expecting to unexpecting. As I sat in Barnes & Noble, numb and broken, feeling alone though surrounded by people, I made a silent promise. I would write that book. And I have. It's the book you are holding in your hands. I wrote everything I needed to hear that day, and over the next 5 years, as we struggled with 3 more miscarriages. While my own experiences inform much of this book, I knew that you might need more than just my voice. My community of bereaved parents. Grief and pregnancy loss are complicated, with as many variables as there are losses. That's why more than 100 bereaved parents contributed to this book. Women and men whose babies died in every type of circumstance and at every gestation, from chemical pregnancy to infant loss. Where you may not relate to my experiences of early loss, I believe you'll be able to relate to one of these parents. What to expect. I've divided the book into these sections: loss, lament, love, and legacy. Loss covers the immediate effects of loss on your body, heart, mind, and soul. Lament addresses how to integrate your grief into your life for the long haul. Love helps you grieve in community. Legacy walks you through moving forward, never on, with your loss as forever a part of you. At the end of each section are prompts to help you process your experience by writing in a separate journal. While my structure suggests you move in a straight line, I know your emotions might also ping-pong back and forth like a pinball, and you will need different things at different times in your grief. Please treat this book as a guide. You are the expert on your grief and loss, and you know best what you need in each moment. You might come across sections that don't pertain to you or could be potentially triggering. Feel free to skip around to the sections that speak to you where you are currently. There are lots of ways to respond to baby loss. While people often believe it's the length of gestation that affects the grief of the parents, studies show that is not the case. Instead, it's the relationship, experiences, and hopes you bring to the pregnancy. This is why you can have 2 losses at the same gestation that affect you differently. Please know there